Welcome, traveler. My name is Winkari, and this is The Journey, a Guild Wars 2 podcast. A cozy stop along the road where we share adventures, stories, and the latest news and updates as we reflect on the world of Tyria. Pull up a chair, warm yourself by the fire, and let's begin. Hello and welcome to episode 12 of The Journey. My name is Winkari. Thanks so much for joining me today. This is Thursday, April 2nd, 2026. And our episode 12 is going to be a fun one, something brand new we've never done before. This is a new special type of episode called Tyria Talk. This is something we're going to have every once in a while, where we have a conversation with a Guild Wars 2 content creator. And today's guest is TheQuestingDad. Excited to jump into that conversation, but first, a few life updates. I'm a little over 75% the way through Ghosts of Ascalon, the first book of the Guild Wars 2 trilogy. I'm really enjoying that. I just met Ritlock Brimstone, so I'm really excited to see kind of some backstory as to kind of who he is and how he became who we see him as in the game. My kids are also on spring break currently. It's kind of one of those hashtag parent problems where one child is on spring break this week and then the other child is on spring break the following week. So lucky me. Not only that, my spouse is visiting family in the DC area, so I'm holding down the fort here, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to the new Super Mario Galaxy movie as well. Anyone else excited about that one? I saw the first one, a lot of fun. You're not watching it for the plot, of course, just to be entertained. And I know my two girls are really excited to see that one. So probably not this weekend, but I think the following is when it's going to line up. Looking forward to seeing that movie. Let's jump into our first segment of the show. And this is Waypoint Unknown. If you're brand new to this show and this is your first time listening, this segment is called Waypoint Unknown, where I describe an in-game location and you have to try to see if you can figure out where I'm broadcasting from in the episode. So we start out in this one, underwater. I look around the floor and there is debris, there is some crab traps, some hermit crabs. And if I look up into the top part of the water, I see even more debris, some sort of giant circular structure that has been decimated and ruined underwater. If I look ahead of me, there are actually some veteran toxic Damas in front of me that lead into a giant underwater cave. As I swim further in, I notice there's some coral reef on the ground, some clams, some ore, but towards the top and the center of the cave, there are half a dozen more toxic Damas with a bunch of cages that seem to be holding prisoner Quaggin. And in the center, a giant dynamic event kicks off with a witch in the middle. If you haven't guessed it by now, that last clue should have given it away. But I'm broadcasting from the region of Kryta, the zone of Kessex Hills, and the lair of the Sea Witch.
Any interesting news?
As we move on to the news, there are a few things to discuss. First is the April 14th Balance Update Preview. This comes to us from the forums at Guild Wars 2. It says, "Welcome to the preview for the April 14th Balance Update. Over the past few expansions, player damage in PvE has slowly increased as we adjusted builds to be competitive with newer features. Our objective for this update is to reduce the overall damage done by players in PvE while keeping builds at a comparable power level to one another. The goal of these reductions is to bring player damage to a place that better matches the expectations and preserves the mechanical integrity of our older open world and instanced encounters. As such, this update is largely focused on number tuning with minimal functional changes. Players can expect around a 10 to 15% damage reduction in most damage-oriented builds. We do not expect these changes to have a noticeable impact on casual PvE gameplay, and players will be able to continue playing the builds they enjoy. We'll keep a close eye on how these changes impact some of the most challenging PvE encounters, and follow up with adjustments to those if necessary. As always, the goal of previewing these changes is to gather your feedback before the live release. We'll be following the conversation and making further adjustments as needed. Thanks, the Skill and Balance team. So, TLDR, essentially they want to bring down your maximum damage for those damage-oriented builds to make things not too steamrolly, particularly, I think, in core Tyria, things like that. So that is an upcoming April 14th balance patch, just 12 days from now, a preview for that. And second, the March 31st patch, which just passed, a few days ago here. And here are some of the highlights from the patch. First, in general, bug fixes will now be classified by quality to let you know just how hard we work to fix them. The Mesmer Collective wishes to remind commanders seeking membership that they are not a real organization. It's just an extended prank on Marjorie Delacroix that has gone so far that Casimir Meade doesn't know how to come clean about it at this point. Okay then. Added support for a new Fractal Recursion weekly bonus event. This similar event will reprise the popular Fractal Recursion bonus week at infinitely smaller and larger scales. Added a new ultra-compact mode for the trading post that minimizes the display to a single button that offers whichever trade is currently best for the economy. And players who find it disconcerting to be looked at by the game launcher could now dismiss it by poking in the eye twice with the mouse. We will get to that in a second. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it says you can resummon it by entering an ancient cheat code. We'll get to that in a little bit. Next, in open world, after the success of quick play fractals and raid encounters, a new, more casual slow play mode is now available. Talk to Stoic Alder for details. And following significant revisions to the Tangled Depths environment, the map has been renamed Straightforward Depths. Get it? Tangled. Straightforward. Come on, that's fun. Adventurers who miss the occasional random companionship of anomalous visions can now purchase a Choice Unburdener elixir to get back in touch. The Bobblehead Laboratory has been updated with additional, completely safe offerings for adventurers who wish to stack perception-altering effects. And vendors may now refuse to buy items from the player based on tracked market value and their current liquidity. Interesting. In World vs. World, a peace score has been added to track and rewards acts of pacifism. And Eternal Battlegrounds building roofs have been removed. You guys noticing any tongue-in-cheekness there? Guys, it's April Fools. I mean, we'll let you figure that one out. Moving on, let's check out the calendar.
My time is precious.
Right now, in-game, the New Hero Jumpstart is back. That is going until April 7th, so effectively 5 days from today. That is Tuesday, April 7th. And if you haven't logged in yet, when you do log in, you'll receive in the mail Hero. For a time, the Flow of the Mist supports your growth as one of Tyria's defenders. While this persists, your adventures will grant you further experience and richer rewards. Take advantage of the opportunity to train and prepare yourself for the trials to come. I, too, will reinforce your path while I am able. Meet me in your homeland, and should you prove yourself with a simple task, I will grant you a weapon to support your journey to the pinnacles of valor, Mist Stranger. So if you haven't done this one before, they actually had this just a few months ago, and they're bringing it back. New Hero Jumpstart's a special event in-game, and it grants you the effect New Hero Jumpstart Boost, and the choice of a main hand or two-handed exotic weapon that dynamically scales with your character's level. So what you do is you essentially go out, complete 5 events in one of the 5 starter zones to complete the achievement, and then you get to pick from one of these weapons, but make sure you do it on the class, the profession that you want to choose from. That's very important to note. You can only claim 1 chest per account per special event, so as I said, choose carefully. And also during this, you get 50% experience gain from all sources, 30% magic find, World vs. World reward track progress, and PvP reward track progress. And then also each one gives you karma, and after completing all 5, if you do all 5 events in the 5 starting zones, you get a Hero's Trusty Satchel, a 20-slot bag, which I myself have yet to do. Next is the April Fool's event, which in some ways we kind of already covered a little bit earlier, but this is going live right now until April 7th. It's called Visions of Infinity. It says, online, from ArenaNet, not me. But wait, there's more! For this limited time, you can also experience fond memories of previous April events, including Cozy Cafe, Heights of Glory, Future Fashionable, Dog Days, Troya Carnival, Mischief for the Sunbeam Throne, and Seats of Power. So essentially these are previous year's April Fool's event activities that you can do. And if you were listening earlier, there's also a silly version of the game launcher currently right now, where if you launch the game, not through Steam, the different themes on there put big old googly eyes on the characters that follow your mouse when you move around. In some ways, this kind of reminds me of launching Mario 64, where you kind of stretch the face, etc. These eyes just kind of follow you. And if you were really listening earlier with that kind of, April Fool's, patch updates stuff, you can actually poke the eyes and it'll stop kind of the semi-creepy eyes following you, and then you can do the Konami code, which is a famous code you'll have to Google to bring it back. And that part is real. I'm not making that up. So again, April Fool's event going on right now, as well as the new hero jumpstart until next Tuesday. That's 5 days from today, Tuesday, April 7th.
How are your endeavors progressing?
We now shift our attention to the Wizard's Vault and its astral rewards. There's actually only one thing that I want to highlight this episode, and that is the limited time special objective in the Wizard Vault right now. That is to complete the Commander's Cozy Cafe achievement, which, if I understand correctly, you do need a homestead to do this, which I want to say is Janthier Wild's expansion feature. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the one. You do have to have that one. You go in and do that achievement until April 7th again, and it's worth 150 astral acclaim.
I've got deals you won't believe.
We now move on to the Lion's Share, where we discuss everything Black Lion Trading Company. And first is the Dynamics Streetwear Appearance Package. This is from ArenaNet. Adventure back to the future with the Dynamics Streetwear Appearance Package. This pack was engineered with comfort in mind, and its details have the most sophisticated Asuran technology. State-of-the-art will be your middle name. So, what does that mean? There's 3 different options here. A Street Fit outfit, which is just the outfit, looks pretty cool, 700 gems. You can get the Hoverboard package, which is backpack straps, hoverboard glider, hoverboard backpack, hoverboard chair for 1,200 gems. Or you can get both of those, including a free total makeover kit. That's the Streetwear Appearance Package, all of the above, plus that free total makeover kit for 1,600 gems. If you want to see a video of these items, you can check it out on Guild War 2 social media page, or media page as. Next is the Boxing Gloves package. This is also online. It says, practice your extraordinary brawling skills with the new Boxing Gloves package. Your opponents will be awestruck by your precision. Current owners of the novelty may obtain the Boxing Glove skin from the Black Lion Exchange Specialist. So, also go to see a video of this on the social media pages of Guild Wars 2. This one is 500 gems, and if you're trying to figure out what I'm talking about here, it's essentially, think ye old boxer. And by ye old, I mean just kind of cliche boxer. Big old, boxing glove, the high trunks, that sort of thing. There's a video of that you can see on the social media pages. Let's move on to our next segment. This is Forum Find, where we discuss a post in one of the forums online.
Ideas are like cream. Good ones rise to the top.
Today's post comes from Dib4612 on the Guild Wars 2 forums, and it is titled, Trash Mobs Shouldn't Exist. They write, I was on my way to the Valthert Crypts in Echovald Wilds. On my way there were a handful of Brotherhood enemies, I suppose, guarding the place from our entry. Anyways, I hadn't played the game for some time, and one of these guys started attacking me. I decided to test their strength. I am a Guardian on a glass cannon build. So, I just stood there, taking the hits. I waited, and waited, and waited, and after 1.5 minutes, he finally managed to down me. In turn, I got up and killed him in 3 seconds. What this does is trivialize their presence and in turn trivialize the world you're in. Part of the immersion in a world is that if someone attacks you, you may just die, and when that's the case, you start noticing the burst attacks and you try to avoid them. And in turn, you start appreciating and respecting this foe, trying to find ways to go around them or make smart pulls like in Guild Wars 1, immersing you into the world with its dangers. Now you may say, but in groups they will pose a threat to you, but really there would have to be 9 of them to bring it down to 10 seconds, and then I'd still burst down this swarm of annoying flies and make it even more inconsequential. I just killed 9 people on my own. Furthermore, I don't see their attacks anymore. I could not react to anything, only counterfight, aka burst them as fast as possible. Now you may also say, but it's so annoying if I walk around and get killed. In that case, why do you play an adventure game? But furthermore, I have better solutions. Number 1. Only make enemies that feel alive and threatening. They should be able to kill you on their own in just a couple of seconds if you don't put up a fight. Apart from auto attack, give them at least a burst, crowd control, heal, and the ability to dodge. If they are humans, take their attacks from the player abilities so it feels like fighting real people. Give veterans and elites more skills, not more health damage. Number 2, readjust their number down so we don't get overwhelmed by these stronger enemies and are able to read their attacks. Number 3, put them in sensible places. Why are the enemies here? If they are fighters, then surely they are protecting something? Is it their hideout, or city, or fortress, or maybe an important road between 2 places they occupy? Maybe they're protecting the entire land. Let them patrol, let them set up choke points, watchtowers. Number 4, lastly, the AI on many of them really needs to improve. Some kind of interaction or movement on them is important as to make them feel alive. Make them smart enough to coordinate, like if they see a group of players that is too large for them to deal. Let them call in reinforcements with a horn from another place on the map. In conclusion, TLDR, make fewer but much stronger enemies with better AI and player moves that make you feel as though they are a worthy opponent. No more auto-attacking trash mobs that try to pet me to death. Why? For the sake of immersion and a fun challenge. That's a long one, so again, trash mobs shouldn't exist. I feel conflicted on this one because I can get what Dib is getting at, which is they don't want to steamroll the majority of the PvE content. So I think I will meet them halfway. My 2 cents is this. I like the idea that there's more sophisticated AI. I can get behind that. But I don't think I can get behind the fact that we should just not have, quote, trash mobs. Because we want scaling difficulty in this game. And I think a lot of people do like the chill, so to speak, feel in kind of open world, particularly core Tyria. So I think I'd vote for a happy medium. Let's maybe increase the AI. Maybe slightly increase some of the health of these mobs, but I wouldn't increase them by much. I would be for increasing AI, but, the developers got to do a lot of work on that one. But I don't think they just shouldn't exist. Maybe just a little more variety. That would be my vote. Variety is king. So, we are done with our updates, we are done with our news, our discussion, but not the ultimate discussion for this episode. We are doing a brand new segment, effectively a brand new episode, and it's called Tyria Talk. The idea behind this episode, this segment, is very simple. I want to break things up a little bit, make it a little less polished and produced, as much as I like to do that, and instead invite a conversation, invite other perspectives, views, and experiences in-game. So, without further ado, I hope you enjoy our very first episode of Tyria Talk.
I have so much to tell you.
My first guest for the podcast in this segment is actually someone that I stumbled upon when I was looking for Guild Wars 2 streamers, just a couple months ago. And this was one of the first people that I found on twitch.tv. And that is TheQuestingDad. So welcome to the podcast.
Good to be here, dude.
Yeah, man. So this is obviously new for me, new for you, but let's start very simply. Let us know maybe where you're from and what's been your history with video games.
Well, I merely was born and raised in Pennsylvania, grew up just south of Philly, and family moved down to Delaware, and I've basically been here ever since. My history with video games, I've been playing them since I can recall. I actually got a picture of my first game that I beat when I was 4. It was that Mario game where you could play like different characters, like Princess Peach and Toad, and
I think it's the second one, right? Super Mario World.
yeah, I think it was the second one. Yeah,
where it's like
so
a side
I got a picture of
scroller.
me with like
Yeah.
Yes, I got a picture of me where it's like the end, where like Mario's sleeping at the end of it.
Okay, yeah, it's the one where you could like skip worlds, if I remember, if you jump through certain pipes and do speed runs and stuff like that.
It might have been. All I remember is like the last boss fight and like the first boss fight where you had to like jump on the egg and like throw it at this dinosaur with a bow or something like that.
Yep, he spits it out in the air, you jump on top of it. Yep.
Yeah, it's been a very long time, but yeah.
Well, you're more talented than I am, because I don't think I ever got past like the third world or something like that.
Well, my dad was a gamer too, so he was into like RPGs like Final Fantasy, so I got into Final Fantasy because of him.
Okay.
So we always had a game system in the house.
What was your first Final Fantasy game? What was your gateway drug to Final Fantasy?
It was in America, it was called Final Fantasy 2, but it was actually called Final Fantasy 4.
Yeah.
I don't know how they worked that out, because 3 was actually 6.
Yeah.
So technically 4.
Okay. Yeah, I actually played those ones recently. I think 3 and 4, and yeah, I totally get that. What would you say? I mean, you played more games after that, obviously.
Oh yeah.
You know what type of games do you play on the stream currently?
On streams, I mainly play just like a lot of fantasy games because that's what I really enjoy. Every now and then, I have a PlayStation 2, a PlayStation 3, a PlayStation 4. I'll hook up from time to time, so I'll play some old retro games. I got like a bunch of like Lord of the Rings games for all different consoles. I even got the guidebooks as well.
Oh, okay.
For each one, because they don't make those no more. So I get to thumb through those.
So what would you say top 3 all time? Because, I mean, it's always an impossible question. Usually the list should be 10.
Oh, yeah.
In the interest of time, give me 3. Top 3.
Well, let me not pick all the Final Fantasy ones. I'll say Final Fantasy 10 is up there.
Same here. That's actually top 3 for me as well.
Yeah, it was such a good story, too. I wish it was longer.
Yeah, it was like the first game that I can recall, probably the only game that I can recall, where the ending credits, and I was like tearing up. And I'm like, how is a video game?
That was so heartbreaking.
How is a video game like doing this to me?
Because they were able to add in like more voiceover work, so you can kind of grow more towards the characters, grow more attached to characters.
Yeah, I think that's probably
so. When they had that heartbreaking moment, you really felt it. That and music didn't help either, because my gosh, it was just pulling the heartstrings there.
Yeah, what's his name? Tetsuo, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Oh, I forget the name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. So there's Final Fantasy X. Oh goodness, Rogue Squadrons. They were called Rogue Squadrons for
Star
like
Wars?
Nintendo 64, the Star Wars games, Star Wars like shooter games. Like you could fly around the ships and whatnot. I played the heck out of those. And of course, Pokemon. I grew up with a lot of Pokemon because, of course, I was in the era where it first came out, like what, 96?
Yep, that's top 3 for me as well. So like,
I had to catch them all back in the day, man.
Pokemon Gold, Silver, Pokemon Yellow is like best memories.
Pokemon Gold and Silver were, to my opinion, the best ones because you got both regions.
Oh my gosh! Can I tell you, when I beat the game and then it like opened up the other region, I was like literally mind blown. I was like, "What do you mean I can play the other region?"
Yes, and you can see that region also progressed from when you last played.
Correct.
So
that was
those would be my top 3.
Yeah, total nerd moment there. So
Absolutely.
what about MMOs specifically? What's been your history with MMOs? Kind of what was your first gateway into that?
The gateway drug for that was this game I got from Christmas, and I got them all for Christmas on. Like, okay. Earth and Beyond. It was an EA game. It was a sci-fi game, and I got that for Christmas. It didn't have a very long life.
Okay.
Earth and Beyond. I got the box somewhere in here. Mm-hmm. But you basically had like 3 races you could pick from: the Projan, the Terran, the Genqui. They were all different versions of humans. And you're playing just like in the future, just dealing with like this possible alien invasion from these ancient beings. And it got cut way too short, unfortunately, because I think they wanted to use the servers from that game for The Sims, because I think they thought The Sims Online was going to be the thing.
Okay.
And that kind of fizzled out very quickly. And then what was it? After that, I did Star Wars Galaxies. And then after that, I did EverQuest 2. I've done Guild Wars. Then it was basically World of Warcraft for almost 2 decades. On and off for about 2 decades. So when I met my wife, I actually was playing EverQuest 2 again, and that's how I got her into MMOs, because I had her create this fairy character, and she's just going around just beating things up with her little stick, and she thought it was the greatest thing ever.
So what would you say, I mean, because I have a similar background, I mean, WoW is kind of the elephant in the room whenever you talk MMOs, you know what I mean? But, like, what would you say? I mean, I know you've still played it in the near past here, but you've kind of shifted in terms of, like, I know Lotro and Guild Wars 2, but is there anything specifically that made you kind of not as attached to WoW as years past?
The storyline. So I'm at a point in my life where I can't do hardcore raiding. I don't have the time for that. I don't have the time to constantly grind for the next big thing, because I know when the next expansion comes out, it's not going to matter. So the main thing is I would just play for the storyline, have my character look cool, and go off my own little adventures. But I think after Shadowlands, I just kind of started like losing a lot of interest, because they started going back and changing a lot of things.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I mean, you've kind of heard it on the podcast, but just seeing that I kind of had to play the game against the grain of the way that the game's kind of been designed over the past, couple years. And when I came to Guild Wars 2, it was just like, it's where I'm meant to be. You know what I mean? And, I think the people put it best when they say, play the games that you enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, because like,
we don't have to overthink it. If you enjoy it, play it.
Yeah, like, well, WoW doesn't have the greatest community, but I was able to push through that because of the storyline, and I enjoyed the story and what they were doing.
Yeah,
like I was so into WoW. I have the Frostmourne sitting over there.
Oh, okay.
I have the Doomhammer outside my office. I have here I can pull him out a little bit. They don't make these anymore.
Oh yeah,
I got the Lich King.
Yeah,
I got the batteries taken out, but so that way they don't corrode. But yeah, I was a huge nerd fan, man. Huge nerd fan.
Yeah.
Wait, I said nerd fan, didn't I? Wow.
Yeah. Well,
I was a huge WoW nerd.
Kind of one of the same.
It's late. It's a Friday. I have not had my coffee yet.
It's all good. So you said Guild Wars came into that kind of MMO progression at one point. Do you remember how you first got introduced to it? Was it just because it was announced?
I had a hard time. This was around high school for me. I had a hard time finding a job because I didn't have, job experience.
Sure.
So
you need more job experience. How do I get a job experience? Get a job. It's like,
Dude, my dad had put in an application for me at one point because he thought I wasn't doing it. Weeks went by. He called them and asked how come they didn't call me back for an interview.
Yeah.
And that's what they told him. He doesn't have job experience.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So
what are you gonna do?
But no, I got it for Christmas because I had seen it advertised on G4, and I was like, "Oh, cool! It's a free-to-play MMO RPG." Got it for Christmas, and I played a good amount of it until we had moved down to Delaware. I got a job, and then I started playing World of Warcraft with everybody else because it was in like movies, TV shows, commercials. God, there were so many commercials about it on TV. Couldn't get away from them.
Yep. Well, let's jump into Guild Wars specifically, Guild Wars 2 even more specifically. What is your main class and race? I know you've played a few, but what's your main, would you say, class and race, and why does it fit you?
Human Guardian. I know the human sounds very basic, but I feel like when it comes to customizing them, especially in Guild Wars 2, you can really do a lot with them.
That's true.
The Guardian, because I like swinging the sword. I like being the melee. I want to be up front. I want to be in the boss's business and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually found I'm the same, by the way. I guess nerd alert here. Human Guardian also. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, why is that? Because I am a big fantasy escapist type player, and I think I put my finger on it. I think it's because in some ways I'm vicariously living through another human who's getting to experience all the fantasy of the other races and locations rather than being the other race. Does that make sense? Like, I think that's one of the things for me.
Well, oftentimes what I've been doing recently, I'm trying to not do it as much. I would try to make the character look like me, so it kind of helps me with my immersion to really get in there.
Yeah.
Because nowadays we have so many customizations you can do in these games. Like it's easy to make a character look like you. It's
very true. And what would you say, if you had one, do you remember your, like, this is my game moment?
I don't know if I had one single moment.
Or maybe something in the game design that just resonated with you, something like that.
Honestly, it was probably the story.
Yeah.
And what was bad was it's just like, so when I first started playing Guild Wars 2, my default thing is just like, well, where's the quest? Where's all the quests?
Yep. Took you a while to unprogram, reprogram.
Like, I don't know what that is. Where's the quests? So I'm going around looking for quests, and it's like you get like your main story quest like every 10th level.
Mm-hmm.
And those were just so much fun. And like you got introduced with like so much story about like the area you're in, Divinity's Reach.
Yep.
You know, you meet Logan Thackeray and all these other amazing characters. So definitely the story. Yeah. And I kind of like on how, at least with the Guardian, I've noticed this, like how they like handle their weapon, even when they're just like idling. It looks like it has weight. It's not like in Final Fantasy 14 or World of Warcraft where they just swing this massive weapon around with ease.
Yep.
So it's like it looks like there's some weight behind it. They're putting their back in the thing. So I like the attention to detail.
Sure. And not to not to dog on WoW, but I've also been asking myself that question, like, what's one of the main differences in terms of WoW to Guild Wars 2? It's almost like I would describe WoW as arcadey. And that's not a criticism, like, people can like that about it, but I think to that comment, it's a little more arcade-y. And there's something about that kind of realism and immersion in Guild Wars 2 with those little touches you're talking about that I resonate and connect with as well. How would you describe the community itself? You've played lots of different MMOs, but Guild Wars 2 specifically, how would you describe it compared to some of your other experiences?
Dude, it's absolutely amazing. Like, people are just so helpful, and they'll go out of their way to, if they see you struggling fighting something or a boss or anything like that, or, you know, if you were defeated in a battle, they've got no problem coming up to you and, like, you know, bringing your character back to life.
Yeah, and it's so refreshing.
And the support too in the world chat as well, because there's so many events going on.
Yep.
If I'm in some area, like I'm going through what the Jade Sea, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
I see a group of players, I can ask them with confidence, hey, what are we all doing here? And I'm not going to get, like, you know, like crapped on essentially, because I don't know things. And they're very like, respectful to new players.
You know.
Yeah, or just be like, just Google it, dude. It's like, no, I'm asking you questions. Tell me what y'all standing here for. But
yeah, I think even like the game design choice to like be able to revive and heal all characters by all characters, I think contributes to that even.
Yeah, that was another thing that threw me off too about Guild Wars 2. It doesn't really have like your typical roles.
It doesn't have that holy trinity,
Yeah, so that's what I'm still kind of getting used to that, because
it's hard to undo.
Like, where's the tank? Because the tank usually leads. I get into this group, I'm like, okay, who's leading? I'm just following the crowd at this point.
Well, and it's my understanding, I mean, obviously that was the intention when they first released, you know, the core game, you know, but as a returning player, I'm not as further along, but it's my understanding is that they somewhat have gone that direction later in the developing, but it's more like a Diet Coke version of kind of those roles. You're not like designated to those roles, you know?
Yeah.
Would you say you're more of a story, PvE, PvP, world versus world, a kind of a mix between all of them? What do you gravitate towards?
I typically like to focus on the story. I like to be immersed in the world. So PvE would be like my main thing. I have not dipped my toes in PvP or world versus world just yet. I want to explore. I want to finish all the content, the living world seasons, and the expansions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And if you had to pick one thing, I know this is kind of a hard one, what would you say is your favorite thing about Guild Wars 2? It could be a feature, it could be an experience, a memory that you had.
The customization. I've never played a game where I can have access to so many different dye channels for my armor or my mounts, for that matter.
Yeah.
I've never been in a game where I can dye my mounts.
Yeah, I like your mount comment, because one of the things, it sounds like I'm crapping on WoW here, and I don't mean to, it's just kind of the elephant in the room because they're the powerhouse. It always bugged me about WoW that you had like 11 bajillion mounts, which is less my problem, but more that like so many of them in recent memory were like just reskins, but yet they were new mounts. A lot
of them were reskins.
And they're not, new mounts, so it's like I actually prefer the Guild Wars 2 system.
There was another podcast way back in the day, I think it was called Gamebreaker.tv, and they had like this segment of like this undead guy who would just like kind of poke fun at Blizzard, and he's just like, oh, there's a new arena mount, we're just going to take this mount and sprinkle some armor on it, and bam, there you go, you got a new mount. It's just like,
you're not wrong.
That's basically, that's what Blizzard does.
You're not wrong. Now,
but in Guild Wars 2, like, your mounts actually have purpose.
Yes.
Which I'm not used to that. So that's why I kind of like skip some content to get all these mounts, because I can, like, I have a use for them now.
Yeah, there's such quality of life like items. Like I find myself playing Tyria now as I'm going through chronologically, and I use them for like the quality of life for like speed. But when it comes to like the things that I knew people didn't have mounts for, I force myself not to use the mount. So like jumping to vistas and jumping, like I force myself not to because I'm just bypassing the content. You know what I mean? I have to be disciplined in that regard. And I mean, you've obviously listened to the podcast, so I'd be remiss if I didn't also be critical about this game or any game. I like to do that even in my, Dear ArenaNet, segments. But what would you say is your least favorite thing? And if you don't say the thing I've heard you on stream, I might bring it up. But what would you say is your least favorite thing about Guild Wars 2?
My least favorite thing is my favorite thing. It's the customization sometimes, because it kind of, so like, I don't want to like,
favorite and your least favorite.
It is my favorite, my least favorite, because like, here's the thing. I like the fact that I can change my armor, skins, and everything else, and colors, and I could look like I fit into the world. But then I'm walking through Divinity's Reach, and I see this guy who's dressed up like Goku and Vegeta. There's Harry Potter running around, and I'm just kind of like, I see somebody with like fire shooting out of their butt, wings sprouting out of their heads, and like, this kind of takes me out of the story I was just in.
listen, Questing Dad. They are living their best life now, okay?
I know, and I would never take that away from them. But it's just kind of like one of those things where it's just like, yeah, that's right. I'm playing an MMORPG.
Well, actually, I mean, I'm glad you said it, because that's the one I've heard you say on your stream, and I actually never really thought about that before, and I think you make it, it's not a right or wrong, right? This is a very subjective thing. Like, I think you do make a valid point. Like, games like Lotro, not many of them, but a game like Lotro, even though I haven't played, is more grounded in reality.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take. Yeah, I like that. Would you say you have a unforgettable moment in Tyria thus far, something that you just distinctly remember happening?
Yes. I'm very bad with names, especially when they're very unique names, but I think it's, what is it, Xalatath, the big dragon, the first elder dragon you come across?
So Zaitan, I believe, is the first one?
Zaitan, that's what it was. That was Zaitan. Yeah, have you fought Zaitan?
Yeah, so again, I've done the first two, or almost through the second expansion way back in the day. So yeah, I've beaten Tyria, yeah. So
yeah, like when I first saw that thing and it had like the dragons coming out of its like lower jaw, that thing just coming at you, that kind of stuck with me. That was my like, this game's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like it's like an epic scale you haven't seen before,
I just wish I could have had a chance to actually fight it.
Yeah, that's definitely been one of the criticisms. It's kind of like a hand-holding.
Yeah, and that was brought up too in my stream when I got to that point too. They're like, yeah, you don't actually fight that thing. So I was standing on the side of the ship because you see him clinging up to a wall, and you see like these dragons that are on his that are his bottom jaw coming at you. I'm thinking, I'm going to fight one of them or something. No, I got to get on the turrets there and blow them apart. It's like,
No, run over there and click X, and run over there and click
yes,
F.
exactly.
And,
hit the F button to activate this.
you know, they're all learning. You know, they're doing new things in the Guild Wars 2 space.
That was the initial game. They've progressed so much, so I'm not going to give them a hard time about that.
And that's where I'm excited too, is as a returning player and starting over, is like I'm seeing it with fresh eyes, and particularly, and this is something I recommend for anyone listening to the podcast, is this game will be that much more enjoyed and rewarding if you play it chronologically. And I don't mean you have to do every detail like I do, but if you just generally try to follow the story, it's really, really rewarding.
It is. There's sometimes I
but it's hard to
skipping
do.
around.
But it's hard to do because we're so programmed to blitz through things in other MMOs. Get to end game. Get to end game.
Well, even not that. So like my big thing was mounts. I got a buddy of mine who's playing. He skipped. He went to the whole Path of Fire because he wants the mounts. And I see him with these mounts. I'm like, I want these
those mounts
too.
Yeah.
And so I skipped around, but like I had done Living World season 2, and I had learned about the Sylvari and their tie with an Elder Dragon, and that really got me interested for that next expansion. But I'm currently in the was it End of Dragons?
Okay. Yeah, you're
Yeah, I'm in that
I've ever
right
been.
now.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
once I'm done with that, I'm going back to where I left off and then continue
picking back up.
Really.
Yeah, no, and that makes sense. You want certain features, etc. Like, I'll never forget when they did Living World Season 1 and the whole Scarlet Briar thing. And again,
that was so good.
I've
too.
forgotten
slow.
I've forgotten 80% of the story, but I distinctly remembering that if you missed the event, you missed out. And that always bugged me, especially in the FOMO world we live in, is like, and thankfully
I was told about
they've
that
done
too.
stuff where you can go back and replay stuff now, but you couldn't for years and years and years.
Yeah, and that was such a good storyline too. So I'm glad they brought those back to where people can, experience them. I can't go see fully what Lion's Arch used to be because that got all wiped out. I mean, I can see snippets of it and
But you
certain quests.
can. Did you know that?
I did not.
I actually learned this a few weeks ago. You collect X amount of items, and you complete a very specific achievement, and once you do that, you actually have permanent access to Old Lion's Arch.
Oh. I'm going to have to look that up.
I know, I fangirled when I heard that. I was like, thank you. Especially having been in the original game, the OG Lion's Arch is way better than the theme park that is modern Lion's Arch.
Yeah, it looks too clean, and then I see his older version. But of course, if I'm in a story instance and I go too far, it lets me know.
Yep.
So I can't really explore too much.
Yeah. So yeah, wiki it. I'll talk about it eventually. On the podcast too. But let's move on. What do you think? What do you think Guild Wars 2 does better than any other MMO you've played?
I'll tell you the same thing. My buddy Q tells me all the time. It respects the player's time.
Sure.
It respects your time and it respects your wallet a lot. I play Lotro mainly right now, but if I were to buy a mount in Lotro, if it's not an account-wide one, which a lot of them aren't, is on that character and that character only.
Yep.
If I buy a mount in Guild Wars 2, everyone gets it.
Yep. It's such
and
a
I
great
can dye it.
life.
I don't have to pay extra to dye it, customize it, or anything else like that. And I can stop playing the game today. I can go back a year from now, and everything will still be there. I can just pick up right where I left off.
Yep. And I think I've heard that so many times over the years that Guild Wars 2 basically kind of ruined MMOs for them in that way, because when they play the other MMOs, yeah, they'll enjoy them, but they miss so many of these, trailblazing features and ideas that Guild Wars 2 implemented that pretty much all the MMOs don't do. So I can relate to that. On that note, if you could add one feature tomorrow, and I'm sure you could think of 20 if you're like me, but if you could just pick one that you would add to Guild Wars 2, what would that feature
feature wise, I don't know. They already do so much.
Like, is there,
other
you know, I mean,
games.
because you play other MMOs, like, is there something in there that you're like, oh, I really wish Guild Wars 2 had that?
I mean, right now, the only thing I would like them to add in for like more customization is like WoW recently had this thing where like your outfit can change
based on your
depending on
environment,
like if you get in
time
water,
of day. Yeah,
time of day now, weather effects too.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Guild Wars 2 could totally just go for that.
Agreed. Yeah, no, that's good. So I know you've listened to the podcast. I do a segment called Dear ArenaNet on there, which I always just have fun doing. If you were to write a letter, a cheeky, snarky letter to ArenaNet, what would you say, or what would you request to them?
I would just request, don't be afraid to add more playable races.
Oh, okay.
Because they have so many races that you learn about too,
You're not wrong.
through like your normal questing and everything else. And I want to play as like so many of these races.
So it
Especially,
begs
like,
the question,
the-
which one? You know, begs the
bear.
question.
The bear.
Is it
polar
Kodan?
bear?
Is it Kodan? I want to
Yes.
say.
Yes, that's what they're called. No, is it the Kodas? Maybe it was Kodans.
I think it's Kodans. Don't quote me on it, but I know which one you're talking about. They're kind of like on their hind leg, you know, polar bears, basically.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
got the polar bear ones and they got like the grizzly bear ones too. In I think the most recent expansion, my buddy has put them up in Discord,
Okay.
showing me pictures of those, and like you see him wearing armor too. So I'm like, you're already halfway there.
Yeah, they've been begging for these races for years. Like the Tengu, I know, has been one that people have wanted forever. But again, it's like at this point in the cycle, I'm like, if they haven't done it by now, don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I don't know if it's in the cards.
Guild Wars 3.
Yeah,
They could do it for Guild Wars 3.
it's true. They could do that. Well, what if someone were a brand new player? Because I know a lot of people are brand new, coming from, you know, Rest in Peace, New World, or even what's the other big one? Ashes of Creation was, you know, seemingly canceled. Someone were brand new, starting today in Guild Wars 2. What would you say to them? Advice, anything like that?
Just honestly, just take the time. Don't rush. Don't do what I do. Don't skip around. Just take the time. Enjoy the journey, pretty much. And that's at the point where I'm telling people to do a lot of things when they're new to an MMO. Just enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Because the developers put a lot of time, and Guild Wars 2 has a lot of story, and a lot of hidden stories too if you're not paying attention. And you'll bring up a lot of those stories too in your podcast. Because there's so much you can if you're just running through things, you're going to miss out on so much.
Yeah, and it's almost like art imitating life, right? We're so busy and we're rushing, and it's like time flies, and you're like, oh, I wish I would have slowed down a bit and appreciated this and that, and that's where I
think
find
that's
the most
too.
joy, you know?
It's like that mentality too, because you're right. It is like you got that whole like rush of life. Like you got work, you got all this other things, you got schedules, you got meetings you got to do. So when you get online, you're just like, oh, I got to do this so I can go get that. It's just like, why? Just take your time.
Yeah. Well, let's shift into your streaming specifically. I got a few questions for you here. What's something about streaming that has surprised you?
Oh, that surprised me. I was really shocked that I was able to basically have a community adopt me in a way, because my thing is like when you're streaming, you're not really building a community. The community just kind of builds around you. I've met so many like great and wonderful people. I've tried streaming other games in the past, like World of Warcraft, Grand Theft Auto, Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
And I just kind of gave up on those. I started streaming Lotro, just, you know, something different to have fun.
Yeah.
And it just was like a snowball effect. People just kind of ran into me, and we got to nerd out over things. And now here I am today.
Do you think a contributing factor is because they're MMOs, you know, at Lotro and Guild Wars, you know?
I think if it was a single player game, it probably wouldn't be, because one of the things about streaming and building the community is you get to play with all these cool, amazing people that you meet online.
Good point. Yeah. And it's not necessarily a one or done, you know, like some of the Fortnites, you know, of the world. You know, you can continually play with them and do multiple contents and progress together, that sort of thing.
I've been playing with some people for about three years now, going on 4 years here soon.
Nice. What would you say, you know, having streamed myself, what keeps you going on some of the tougher days of streaming, whatever that can mean to you?
I'll just focus on my community. If I'm having a bad day at work, or if I'm just like having like a bad stream or a slow stream, or just nothing's going on, I know this day will pass and we'll do an event later and then we'll just all have fun, because at the end of the day, that's what streaming's mainly for, just to have fun.
Yeah, agreed. It takes the pressure off too, having, streamed, as sometimes we put way too much pressure on ourselves as streamers. It's like, just do it, have fun, and it is what it is. But when you're doing it to, get numbers and make lots of money and whatever those motivators are, like, you will always feel the weight of that. But if you can just push that aside and say, I'm doing it because I want to, I enjoy it, and I'm sharing the love of these games with other people, it takes that weight off, And, okay, last question then. What would you say you love most? I mean, you kind of maybe already talked about this. What would you say you love most about streaming?
Just I could share my nerdiness with other people that have the same nerdiness as me. Yeah.
That's a good point. It's kind of like if you're out IRL and you meet a stranger and you both find that you have the similar interests, and it's like, did we just become best friends? That fun moment.
The thing is that's so rare to happen, like, in real life. Yep. But like on the internet, it's just so commonplace. Although the internet's a lot bigger than what it was back when like Guild Wars 1 came out for me.
True. Yeah, very true. Well, we're going to move into the lightning round, the rapid fire. So you have no idea what's coming with these. Nope. And we will try to keep them to like just first thing that comes to mind type answers. We'll just see where it goes. Does that sound good?
Sounds good, dude.
Okay, and maybe I'll come up with a cool name for this later, but we'll just call it rapid fire lightning round for now. So, here we go. Favorite starting zone in Guild Wars 2?
Goodness.
Which race? And if you can't remember the names, you can just say race.
No. I remember the name. It's just picking one. Just picking one. Because I don't want to say the human one. That's just south of Divinity's Reach. Queensdale. Because I feel like that's just be like too, like,
If that's your answer, what's your gut say? What's your gut say?
Oh man, it's got to be Queensdale, dude.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Favorite mount?
Right now, my favorite mount is a turtle. I got to ride on a turtle from time to time. I had to be the backseat driver and blow things up with cannons. And my gosh, that was just so much fun.
Nice. I don't have it yet, but my eldest daughter loves turtles. And when she sees other people riding them, she says, Daddy, please get the turtle. I said, one day I will, but it's probably going to be a while with the pace.
You're going to have to get the plushie version of it. That's what you're going to have to do.
But with the pace that I go, it's going to be a while until I get to that expansion. Favorite map in game? Favorite zone?
Favorite map? Like, wouldn't that be like favorite zone?
Yep.
I don't really have a favorite zone. I mean, I was still exploring a lot of the game. Yeah, I can't like narrow it down to just one zone.
Do you need to phone a friend?
I need to phone a friend, because I'm sitting here thinking just like, what zone really blew me away that I really like? Okay, here you go. It's not really a zone that you can go to. So when you're doing the story, you have Oreen, the dragon that you it becomes. I don't want to give too much spoilers for those who might not know. But Oreen becomes a very big part of your it becomes a very big part of your character storyline. Every now and then you'll go into a special zone that's based off of her, and I'm about names. That's based off of what is it? Her father or her mother. One elder dragon.
You're testing my memory now, because it's been years since I.
Oh, is it called Glint?
Glint, yes, that's the one, because it's also from Guild Wars 1. Yeah.
So you're gonna go into like areas that basically was like his domain, and they just looked like shards everywhere, and it just looks so well done, and how they pull everything off. It looks really good.
Great. Favorite city?
Oh, that's easy. That's Divinity's Reach.
Okay. Favorite world boss?
You better if I was good with names.
I mean, it's tough, right? Especially when there's so many.
Well, yeah, there is so many, but no, there is one, and I've had it in stream once. Actually, I've had it stream quite a few times. there's this one dragon that'll come down here off the shoreline.
Is it Tecatl?
It could be that. I think that is that. I'm usually not paying attention to them. I'm usually trying not to die, and I'm going to jump. When it like smacks the water, the waves come up, you gotta jump it, then it flies off.
Yeah, I want to say it's Tecatl. If I'm wrong, our audience will let us know. But it's the one where it like shows up on the perch first, and then it comes, and it's this very cinematic thing. I want to say it's Tecatl.
I'm going to go Google this thing real quick.
He's like, this will bug me forever if I don't.
It is going to bug me now because like I bought this thing multiple times, but just
and I would help you, but again, I'm doing this game at a snail's pace, so I'm 7-ish zones into core Tyria, maybe more than that.
Well, the Shatterer, that's not one, but that is also a good one too. I fought that one twice.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. It's I can't pronounce that. Tequatl? Is that
Tequatl?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tequatl.
Yeah, so it's the one I thought
sunless.
It was. Yeah. It was something with sun. I just wasn't confident. Okay. Yeah. Very popular.
That is such a fun fight too because like when you do enough damage to it when it's coming down, it like messes up its landing and just kind of like crashes down.
Yeah.
And like all the work and detail they put into this encounter, I've never seen this in like any other game where a world boss will just stand there, just smack you.
Yeah.
This one actually moves like it's a living thing.
Sure. Now, do you have a favorite dungeon or fractal that you've done in the game thus far?
No. I've
really
done very few dungeons.
Okay.
Fractals were kind of random. When I did it when it was like, was it the Fractal Rush?
Yeah.
That event. Yeah, I did that like one night. I was just like, oh, this is cool. And then I'm like, I gotta get back to working on mounts.
Yeah.
So
back to my checklist.
Priorities.
Well, you're further along than I am. So End of Dragons is what? Is that the third expansion? Fourth? I think it's the third, right? It's Path of Fire, then End of Dragons, I want to say.
Yep. It's a Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire,
and then End of Dragons, I believe.
I think it is End of Dragons.
So thus far, what would you say is your best expansion of those three?
Path of Fire, hands down. Had an amazing storyline. Loved it, and I love the final fight of it too.
Okay. Would you say your inventory is organized or a disaster?
No. It's never organized, no matter what game. I'm at the point now where I whenever I'm streaming, I'm gonna have my inventory pop up behind the webcam. So
well, that's the enigma of Guild Wars. Like, with all the amazing quality of lives that we even have as like the bank and crafting materials, it is still such a gaggle. You know?
Oh my goodness, dude! Like there's things where it's like, why do I have this item? What's this item for?
Yep.
Should I keep it?
Throw it in the bank.
I'll keep it. I don't know.
Throw it in the bank.
I gotta wiki it. Yeah, I'll throw it in the bank too.
Throw it in the bank. If you could live anywhere in Tyria, where would it be?
Ooh, probably Lion's Arch.
Okay.
Yeah, like I love Definity's Reach. That's like my favorite place to go to because like I got all like the major like main cities.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the Char city. I like the starting area. It's nice. It's cool because it's like old.
Ascalon.
It's that area, and that was so much fun too. Like when I realized like where I was when I made the characters, like, oh, I recognize this, I recognize that, I know where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But yeah, their city, I don't like their city at all.
Yeah.
So no, I would probably be Lion's Arch.
Skrit or Quaggan?
Quaggan.
Humans or Sylvari?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go with humans right now. But I got a Sylvari Revenant, and he's a lot of fun to play. And I'm looking forward to getting into Heart of Thorns to learn more about their tie-in with the Elder Dragon.
Casual or hardcore?
I'm casual now, man.
One word to describe Tyria.
Beautiful.
One word to describe your stream.
Chaotic.
Do you have any pre-stream rituals before you go live?
Coffee. Caffeine doesn't really affect me, but I always need just something warm for my throat.
Well, that kind of answers my next question. Coffee, tea, or energy drink?
I can't do energy drinks, man. It messes up with my chest these days.
Same here. It's like if I want to get palpitations the rest of the day, drink an energy drink, but can't handle it.
No, coffee is my go-to drink.
Favorite snack while streaming?
Ooh, see, I try not to eat that much these days. Ghost and Dad got a little bit of a questing pack on. So, right now, my favorite snack to go to would be, Quest has these like Reese cups.
Okay.
They're like filled with protein. They're really good.
Yeah. Well, you had me at Reese's Cups, so love that. Morning person or night owl?
Both.
Oh. So does that mean you have energy at both, or does that mean you just don't sleep, or both?
I try to sleep, but like I'll end my stream around like 10:30 at night. I'll be in bed wide awake till about 11:30. I then gotta get up around 5:15 and be out the door by like 5:40 to be at work by 6. So I can hop right out of bed with no issues.
Yeah.
It's just turning my brain off, so I can stay up all night if I needed to.
Introvert or extrovert?
I'm an introvert. Outside of the games and outside of my stream, because it's like it's hard to, like, I don't know, open up to new people unless I see them wearing like a gaming shirt.
Sure.
I was like, oh, like you play, like, you know, like I wear, like, I make my own Guild Wars merch and Lord of the Rings merch. So, you know, if anyone sees that, recognizes that, and we have a conversation, like, cool.
That's how I always felt about. I don't know if you're into anime by chance, but if you've ever been to an anime convention, similarly, it's one of the things I like about those spaces, because you see everyone converge on like their same, you know, love of anime.
Yes.
And it's just like everyone's instantly best friends.
Yeah, I've been out of touch with a lot of anime. I think the last one I saw way back in the day was on Netflix. It was called Soul Eater. Mm-hmm. And then I saw, was it Sword Art Online? First 3 seasons of that. That was pretty good.
Yeah. It's kind of in my yesteryear as well, just in terms of, you know, life. We might watch something here and there, but it's usually more of like the anime movies, or we love the Ghibli films. You know, we watch those as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah, if you're a parent, you got to love those movies.
Yeah. And last rapid fire question, number 20. Favorite game outside Guild Wars 2?
It was probably just going to be Lotro at that point.
Yeah. And
honestly, I mainly just play online games nowadays.
Same. It took me a while to, I think, accept that when you get to, you know, our age and family and work and busy, is like you got to pick and choose where you're spending your time and your capacities. And I said, it's MMOs. And right now, obviously, it's Guild Wars 2, but like it just clicks for that, you know, in so many ways.
Well, it's not only that too. It's just like nowadays, most games cost like $80.
Yeah.
And like I could just spend money on a monthly sub, or if it's a free to play game, nothing but my time.
Yeah.
And because all I want to do at this stage of my life, I just want to look cool, my character, and just go fight dragons with friends. That's all I want. I want to slay dragons on the internet with friends that I like. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, you passed the test. Our first guest on Tyria Talk. It's great having you on, but I want to make sure we let our audience know, you know, I know this obviously, but where can they find you online, and what will you be up to as a streamer?
They can find me just about everywhere, from Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Discord. I think that's about it. Pretty much any kind of platform. I'm at TheQuestingDad. I mainly play fantasy games, much like Lord of the Rings Online and Guild Wars 2. Sometimes I might whip out an old PlayStation and play an old console game just for the heck of it. A little nostalgia trip down memory lane, but yeah, that's basically who I am.
And congratulations, by the way. You just got, I don't know the verbiage again, but is it a Lotro partner? What's the verbiage there?
So their verbiage of it is I'm in the creator program.
Creator program with Lord of the Rings Online.
So I'm officially official now. I've technically been official because I'm on their official Lotro channel every Thursday night. But now I'm officially official. Officially official. It's officially official here. Officially. Stamp that thing twice, man. You know.
Yeah. And did you apply for the ArenaNet program, partner program?
I did.
Okay.
I did, and I think I might have had one of their scouts in my stream one day because they were asking me a lot of questions about Guild Wars 2 while I was playing Lotro.
A scout? Oh, geez, I haven't even gotten
I'm
one of those.
I'm assuming because it was a new person in my chat. Because whenever you're doing Twitch streams, it'll say new chatter.
New chatter, yeah.
And they're asking me all these questions about Guild Wars 2, and I'm answering them. So I'm just kind of like, that was interesting.
Okay, well, I haven't gotten one of those secret shoppers yet, so we'll see whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
They could be listening, dude. You never know.
They could be listening, right?
If what you filled out was like on how you're doing a podcast.
Sure. Yeah. Well, great, man. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you being on the show. It's been a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing you more on the good old twitch.tv/TheQuestingDad. And with that, our time together comes to a close. Make sure you check out our show notes for links to the Questing Dad's Twitch page and social media. And if you'd like to show your support for the show, there are 3 ways you can do so. First is to follow the journey wherever you listen and share the show with a friend. Second is to comment, rate, and review the podcast. And if you do so, I'll even read it on the show, which, speaking of, we've got 2 of them.
What a nice surprise.
The first one comes to us from Apple Reviews, that's on the podcast platform. Red Nui writes 5 stars for the review. I found out about this podcast through a Reddit post. I've got to say I love it. Please keep it up, and hopefully one day we'll be able to play up-to-date content and speculate about future stories. I agree. I very much look forward to that. And second on Spotify, Robert James Buttermore. He comments on episode 11, I'm here for it. Keep up the good work. And if you think that name sounds familiar, it's because Buttermore was an in-game character, an in-game player, rather, that actually helped me out. So thank you so much for that comment. And finally, the third way you can support the show is to subscribe to my Patreon. For just $5 a month, you can become a Wayfarer with benefits including access to traveler's logs, Patreon-only updates, and behind-the-scenes content. And one such update actually includes the video recording of today's Tyria Talk with TheQuestingDad. You also receive member shout-out in the outro of an episode when you sign up, a member shout-out in the show notes of every episode, and quarterly live chat, hangout, or AMA. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Blue Skies, and YouTube at GWJourneyPod. If you have any questions, comments, or corrections, you can email me at gwjourneypod@gmail.com. Which, speaking of, we have an email.
What a nice surprise.
Today's email comes to us from the Multiverse Lounge. They say, I stumbled upon your podcast this evening while searching for some Guild Wars 2 related items on my iTunes. Guild Wars 2 is just an incredible game, and I've been surprised that hasn't been an ongoing podcast for quite some time. I know the Lightbringers podcast has been around, but in my opinion, it just doesn't really have the feel that I'm looking for to listen to while I drive to and from work, or just to get lost to in my favorite game at some random moment. I spotted the journey and pressed play on the trailer you recorded in January. It was like I was listening to a kindred spirit. I'm in my 50s, married, and pretty busy with everyday life. However, my absolute favorite escape is Guild Wars 2. I, too, consider myself a casual and knowledgeable from years of playing, but definitely not an expert in things like builds, skill rotations, etc. I listened to the first 5 episodes of episode 6 and knew this is exactly what I've been looking for. You have a great voice, and I love the sound effects and the game music you mix in. The production value is top-notch, just pure escapism. I've subscribed and will be listening to the rest of Chapter 6 on my way to work in the morning. Thank you so much for that, Multiverse Lounge. I appreciate that email. There's also 2 more places you can find me. That is on our Discord, which you can find a link to in the show notes, but also at twitch.tv/Winkari. I'm streaming roughly 3 days a week playing Guild Wars 2 on twitch.tv/Winkari. Special thanks to ArenaNet for our in-game music and sound, and to you for listening. I'll see you next time when the journey continues.